Alright, so I decided to start a series where I will make a video per pet and tell you how I got them, where they came from, and their personalities and all of that. Kind of like a more in-depth introducing my pets videos. But each video will be about an individual or siblings, if they're like super similar. And I'm going to do it by age. So this first video of the series will be Apollo. He is 5 years old. So when I moved out with my husband, we had my really old dog that I had since I was 10. We took her with us. And we decided we wanted to adopt a dog together, kind of like our first dog, because of course she was my dog and I loved her, but I didn't really have a hand in raising her or anything like that. I was a kid. So we went to our local animal shelter, and they mostly only had really big, really energetic dogs, and we weren't quite sure how my dog would handle that at the time. And our fence is super short, only like 4 foot. So we didn't want to get an adult dog that we didn't know if they'd be a jumper or not, because at the time I wasn't sure how to handle that. So I just waited to see what else. And they ended up getting like a little Yorki mix, and the pictures were so cute. So I was like, I'm going to go look at this dog. Do you want to go? And he didn't really want to go. He was playing a video game or something. But I went up there, and he had given me the money just in case if I decided it was a good idea. And as soon as they let him out into the yard, he was happily interacting with the other dog in a kennel out there. He ran straight up to me, jumps on me. And I asked them if they had any information about him. All they could tell me is that he was dumped at our local lake. Or that's where they found him. So since no one claimed him, I'm assuming someone dumped him there. So sad. People should not do that. And for a while after, he would get kind of anxious in cars. He's not now, but he used to be. And he's got pretty bad separation anxiety. So I assume that could be why. So they didn't really have a lot of information for me. But I went ahead and adopted him, and it was. I'll try to post it here if I can get it uploaded off my phone if I didn't lose it. But I got a video of the first time he finally started feeling at home and would play with toys and stuff, and he started to relax. And him and my old dog, they got along really well. And I don't know what I was saying. I'm not very organized making videos, but anyways, I've never had a dog that needed groomed before, and he does. And so I've struggled with his hair, but I'm starting to finally get that stuff under control. So a lot of the videos or pictures I post here might look kind of raggedy after the first few adoption photos. But he did have he still does and did have a lot of issues, which this is why I will never ever preach adopt, don't shop, because some people cannot handle getting an animal that has a lot of problems from their previous home, and they just don't know where to start. Like, Apollo was not fixed until 2 or 3 years old, or whenever we adopted him. And so he already had a horrible marking habit that we still to this day can never break, and we've tried for several years now. He has to wear male dog wraps in the house at all times. Sometimes he still will poop in the corner no matter how many times we've put him on a leash, not allowed him to have free time without being watched. We've never been able to completely break him from it. He still will do it occasionally. My problem with the fence, where we didn't adopt a big dog because we didn't know if they'd be able to jump it, actually backfired because the fence, we didn't realize at the time, but it came up a few inches. So he was able to just dart underneath the fence. And so we did have to walk him on a leash until he learned manners to like listen. Now I can let him out there and he can just run around in the yard, and he won't leave the fence anymore. He's really smart about learning things like that. It's just his potty training he was never able to break it. And he still has some horrible separation anxiety. But he is super smart. Like, I taught him sit, shake, roll over, all of that stuff extremely early on. Like, he learned it extremely fast. He learned to stay in the yard faster than any dog I've ever tried to teach that to. We still leash him for precaution, especially if I have to go in really quick. But if I'm sitting there watching him and I know he'll listen, I'm okay with it because I completely trust him now. Overall, he's just a really good dog, but he is a prime example I use on why adopting can be hard for some people. It's been really hard for me. I won't lie and say he was extremely easy. He's probably the hardest dog I've ever owned. And he was also the first, so that does not help any that I've had by myself. But he's the reason why I say shopping can be better for some people, especially if it's your first dog and you really make sure you do your research either way, because owning a dog, you can make mistakes really easy that can mess it up they can mess that dog up real quick. But that's the problem with adopting, is you don't know what's happened to them, which I'm not going against adopting. It's great. It's wonderful to save their lives, and I will always love Apollo. That's why I still own him. I love him to death. He's a really good dog. But it can be extremely stressful. I was really stressed the first couple of years we had him. And that's why I can never get behind only adopting, though adopting is a really wonderful thing. So, more about his personality. He is a super friendly dog. He likes to bark at everyone and everything, every little noise. But he does love everybody he's met. He likes to hump everything. And that has gotten him into some trouble with some other people who's babysat him. But he's not extremely food motivated, unless if it's human food, like our dinner. You get up to go put your plate in there, and he'll be in your seat looking around to see if he can find crumbs. But other than that, he's not a huge fan of any dog treats, really. I've given him dog treats, and he usually just kind of takes it like, okay, I'm not a huge fan. And sometimes he'll enjoy his dinner more if I add like water to make it like soupy, or canned food occasionally. I'll mix a little in that, or pumpkin to like make him want it more. Just make it a little more exciting for him, because he gets really extremely bored of just dry food all the time. Or like any treats. Like he is toy motivated, though. That his favorite thing in the entire world is those little squeaky balls. He will pick them up while we're trying to watch TV and just eat for like the entire time. And we're like, oh my gosh. But it's so fun to see him enjoy them so much. He loves to go for walks. Just because he's a little dog doesn't mean that he does not have the energy. He will run the entire time. Like, he keeps up with my other big dogs extremely well, the ones I got after him. He bullies them a little bit, that's just, he's got to make sure they know. So what Apollo eats is Victor dog food, the original like blue bag. I'll try to put a picture of it up here for you. That's what I feed my dogs. they've been doing pretty good on it. They seem to enjoy it. Apollo, as much as he can of dry food. He's not a huge fan of any of them that he's tried. But he'll eat this. I give him like a cup in the morning, a cup at night. But he usually will just save it and eat 1 cup a day. I hope you've enjoyed seeing all these pictures and videos and information about Apollo. He is really a good boy. And though I complain about him and his problems, I do adore him. And he is a good boy. Thank you for watching. In next video, it will be about... Let me double check. The next video will be about Aerith, one of my cats. So if you enjoy this kind of idea, just let me know. But if you have any other ideas that you'd like to see, just tell me in the comments and I'll see what I can do. I also plan on trying to do like a bit of care guides for some of these animals that I own. I'm a little nervous about doing that because I don't want to... I want it to be like as good as it can be, but that's what I plan on trying to do that. But I want to make sure I'm giving good information. But I'll at least tell you how I care for them. So any other ideas, please let me know. And thank you so much for watching. Bye-bye.